So is the office of the Election Commission, a vital office in a democracy, now caught in an unfortunate political tangle? Is it time to simply review the manner in which election commissioners are appointed? Is the government stamp on the Election Commission's appointment now increasingly apparent? Is there a Modi-Shah stamp, as the opposition alleges? Joining me now is O.P. Rawat. He's former Chief Election Commissioner, and Jagdeep Chokar is a founding member of the Association for Democratic Reforms that has been pushing for greater transparency, including in the appointment of election commissioners. Before I come to you, gentlemen, I just want to say what happens now also happened in the past when it comes to the election commissioners and the way they are appointed. There are, remember, various complaints and controversies that are haunting the election commission. At the moment, from the Congress complaining about alleged discrepancies in the Maharashtra election, why were more voters added, how did 40 lakh new voters get added, are among the questions that have been raised. Voter deletion has been another issue. Aam Aadmi Party claims voter names were being deleted ahead of the polls here. Haryana EVM row, Congress complaining about how EVMs having 99% charge, battery charge on counting day. We've also had in the Lok Sabha voter turnout, Congress citing a report by Vote for Democracy to question the turnout figures. I'll come to many of those controversies, but first I want to come to you, O.P. Rawat, as a former Chief Election Commissioner. When on the very first day, these kind of statements are made, does it compromise in a way the position of the Chief Election Commissioner if the opposition says he's a rubber stamp of the government?
Rajdeep, I don't think so, because the whole matter has been conducted in accordance with the laid down law. And Honorable Supreme Court had said that until the Parliament enacts a law, only till then this panel suggested by Supreme Court will do the scrutiny and selection process. So whatever has been done, it has been done
but it's been challenged, sir.
Law.
So the fact is, let's get the facts right. The Supreme Court had first said that the selection panel would include the Prime Minister, the Leader of the Opposition and the Chief Justice of India, right? The government then decides we are bringing in a law, removes the Chief Justice of India, appoints a minister, in this case Amidst. So it's 2-1. Now that is being challenged in the Supreme Court, which is hearing it tomorrow. What does the Modi government do? 48 hours before that, goes ahead and appoints the Chief Election Commissioner. Where does that leave the Supreme Court challenge which comes up tomorrow, sir?
That challenge will be heard by Honorable Supreme Court, and whatever judgment they deliver will be complied with. However, whatever has been done, because the present CEC was the demitting office, and Chief Election Commissioner's office cannot be headless for even a single moment.
So you don't think it's so you think Rahul Gandhi is
law and appointed.
So you don't agree with Rahul Gandhi's claim that this is a midnight coup. You believe this has been done as per routine. Am I correct?
As per the law, not routine, because routine was in fact much worse. The routine was that even LOP was not there in the selection panel.
That's a very, that's a point, Jagdeep Chokar. I want to come to you and I want to put on record how election commissioners used to be appointed. I remember from the days of T.N. Session. Initially, the election commission was a single member body with one chief election commissioner. He used to be appointed by the union government. In those days, the Congress was in power, and the Congress would, without consulting the opposition, appoint a chief election commissioner. The Narasimha Rao government in the mid-1990s appointed 2 election commissioners to clip the then Chief Election Commissioner Sessions' powers by making it based on a majority vote, so that decisions were taken in the commission on a majority vote. In March, the Supreme Court decided we'll include the Prime Minister, Leader of the Opposition, CJI, make it a little bit more neutral, one from each side and then the Chief Justice. The government reversed that by bringing in a new law replacing the Chief Justice. But the point, Jagdeep Chokar, is every government wants, possibly including Congress, election commissioners that suit them. So what's new about this?
Well, there is nothing new. And we have worked with the Election Commission for 25 years. And Mr. Rawat was also one of the chief election commissioners during that time. And we had a wonderful working relationship. And at that time, election commissioners and the chief election commissioner was appointed by the government of the day. And there had been all kinds of appointments, mostly good, but a few which left something to be desired. But over the last 6-7 years, and we never filed this petition in all those 15 years. It was only in the last 6, 7, 8 years that we found that some of the actions of the Election Commission did not seem to meet the requirement of complete neutrality.
Are you saying that's only happened in the last 6, 7 years, sir? Are you saying that's only happened in the last 6, 7 years?
No.
Give me an example.
I am saying two things, if you let me say that.
Yes.
Even in the last 15 years, there were appointments which were indifferent, but they were not so intense that they affected the working of the election. When we felt that happening over a period of time and there was a pattern, we filed a petition. All we said was that the Constitution says there should be a law, and Parliament has not made a law. Please ask the Parliament to make a law. That was our original petition. When we filed that petition, in that judgment, which is over 300 or 300 pages long, the Supreme Court, a constitution bench, has spent 3/4 of the judgment trying to explain the rationale of appointment, which is that the appointment should not be under the exclusive control of the government. The judgment also quotes Professor Shibbal Lal Saxena from the Constituent Assembly. In the Constituent Assembly, there was a debate and disagreement on should there be a law made or should it be left to the Parliament of the country.
Sir, but the government of the day, I'm sorry, the government of the day has brought in a law. The government of the day has brought in a law as mandated by the Supreme Court.
Just a minute, let me complete. The government of the day brought in a law which followed the letter of the law, but not the spirit of the law. The spirit of the law was a appointment body which is not exclusively under the control of the executive. That basic issue has been violated in the law that has been brought in. And we challenge the law within a week of this being brought in. We are not interested in any particular individual or any particular party. Our petition for reviewing this law and judicial oversight is part of the Constitution. Supreme Court.
I take your point. You made an important point, sir, that the government, according to you, has followed the letter and not the spirit of the law, in your view, or the spirit of the Supreme Court judgment, which wanted election commissioners to not only be neutral, but be seen to be neutral. Take that, O.P. Rawat. The point that Jagdeep Chokar is making, when the Supreme Court intervened, appointed the Chief Justice of India on the panel, they obviously didn't want one side, the government, to have a majority on deciding the election commissioners of this country. That's where Rahul Gandhi is now raising a red flag, saying you have two people from the government, Mr. Modi and Shah, and he's there, so he says it's a rubber stamp.
That issue is under Supreme Court's consideration, and tomorrow they are going to hear. So I would refrain commenting on.
No, do you think the new law is against the spirit? Do you think the new law brought in by the Modi government is against the spirit of the Supreme Court in ensuring neutrality of election commissioners?
I just would say that whatever is the laid down law as per our constitution, the government followed that and appointed the new incumbents.
Okay, you're being very safe and there, but Jagdeep Chokar, let me give you a final word. You said your petitions are not about individuals, but think about someone like Gyanesh Kumar there, appointed Chief Election Commissioner. On day one, the opposition is gunning for him, saying he's Amit Shah's man. I mean, don't you think the opposition also should hold its fire till they see how Gyanesh Kumar performs? If there are decisions that he takes which violate election guidelines or are seen to be non-transparent, isn't that the better way rather than start a character assassination from day one?
This is not a question of individuals, whether it is Gyaneshwar Kumar or Rajiv Kumar or T.N. Seshan or O.P. Rawat. the system of appointment has to be seen to be neutral and fair. And it is not only the law made by the current parliament, there is a whole section of debates in the Constituent Assembly where Shibbal Lal Saxena actually said that the appointment should be done by 2/3 majority in the parliament. And I have written about this in the Hindu and in the Wire, saying that the appointment actually, the Supreme Court also said that the CEC is in a unique position,
Right.
which is not held by anybody else in the country. So their appointment process has to be very, very carefully designed, that there is not an iota of doubt in anybody's mind about their neutrality.
Okay. I think you make a fair point there. At the end of the day, if you're the Chief Election Commissioner of India and it's expected therefore to be the ultimate neutral umpire, the entire process by which you're made Chief Election Commissioner should be as transparent as possible, and you must be not only neutral but seen to be neutral. And that's where really the tangle has now once again reached the Supreme Court. Rahul Gandhi raising a red flag. We'll wait and see how the Supreme Court responds. O.P. Rawat, Jagdeep Chokar for joining me here tonight. Thanks very much for joining me on my Top Talking Point.